2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? How do y'all feel about the Cat and Tomas situation? Matter of fact, how do y'all feel about the Derek and Ashley situation? I know a lot of people been saying they don't care about them characters because it's boring or whatever. It do be boring, but at the same time, come on now. Come on now. I said they need to stop lying to themselves. But I'm going to do a quick summary, then we're going to dive into the review, y'all. Okay, so who we starting with first? Ashley don't sit up here and propose to Derek at the end of their scene on today's new episode. I said, now you know doggone well you want Andre. I said, girl, get up. I said, get your tail up. Get up. Don't listen to your mama. Jan, she asked for Jan's advice and stuff. I said, don't do it. I said, that's how you get, that's how you keep going back and forth with the whole Derek Andre situation because she in your head. You got to be able to think for yourself. I said, I can't stand when people can't think for themselves. Well, yeah. I said, girl, get up. Over here. He said, you better not get down on one knee. He's so desperate. I said, now, Derek, you just overheard her truth because she made it seem like she realized that you was the one and all this other stuff. But you just heard her say that her and Andre was finna get together, but she seen the whole Danny situation. You heard it with your own ears. Your own two ears, you heard it. Hey, how you doing today? I said, you done heard it. What made you think... Oh my goodness. Then you got Andre over here hiding the pants to herself. I was like, look, him and Ashley just keep lying to themselves. But yeah, she don't propose to Derek at the end of their scene on today's episode, y'all. Aside from that, Andre and Danny back to doing what they do, sleeping together. Bill was back in Danny's face as well. They over here holding hands basically too. I said, what the word? I said, Haley, where you at, girl? But yeah, Andre ended up telling Bill how he was in his seat, so he started to try Andre or whatever. What else? Chelsea wanted Naomi to represent Allison, but she was like, she can't do that. Eva apologized to Kat for Leslie, trying to get the whole property and stuff like that. Tomas was mad because Kat was being mean. Kat ends up leaving and she came back. And she caught these folks for the million doggone time doing the same thing Danny and Bill was doing. Basically holding hands and stuff. Hold on. Basically holding hands and stuff. And she left. I said, now how many times this make, y'all? I know it got to be past 3. I said, now, y'all in a relationship now. Now, the other times, I don't know if they was actually in a relationship or not, but come on now. You going to keep on pretending like you happy? First of all, you keep pretending like you happy with the man. That's the first thing. Now you going to sit up here, you see them once again, close together or whatever. You going to walk out. Girl, I said, come on now, Kat. I said, just turn him loose because I can't tell who he want. I don't know. He want both of them. I don't know. People think that he's playing both of them. I said, look like it, because look, he'll say one thing to Eva. Next thing you know, he'll be back in Cat face or whatever. Now, once again, I understand why Kat is mad or whatever, but at some point, you're going to have to let it go. But she is right, though, because I think Tomas asked her something about what would it take for her to, let go of what Eva did and stuff like that. And she basically said she parted ways from Leslie. I said, ain't going to happen. She already over here working on the plan with her mama. Did y'all see the preview for next week's episode? Now, at first, I was about to say I knew it. I said I knew that they was going to end up hooking up Ted and Leslie. But at the same time, she was fantasizing about him before. So we don't know until we actually see the episode. But yeah, I was like, Ted, I told y'all he was going to go. Now, we haven't seen the episode, but right now I'm going to say he don't went. There he went. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see where I stopped at. Chelsea wanted Naomi to represent Allison. Eva apologized to Kat. Thomas felt some type of way. He was accusing Kat of being a mean girl. Kat catches them close for the millionth time and she left. Samantha had a boy over. Kat convinced Kat not to say anything. Soon as Kat left, she came back with the boy. And I ain't catch his name. I don't know. But he looked like that guy. He looked like he could be related to that guy that played on the Lifetime movie. What was it called? Mary J. Blige. You know the little Siri thing she had, if y'all seen it? He looked like he could be his brother or something like that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know his name. Matter of fact, is it something Vinci? I don't know, y'all. But he looked like him to me. I don't know. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Andre and Ashley still lying to themselves about wanting each other, talking about closure and stuff. Jan still pushing for Ashley to be with Derek. Bill ends up letting his girls know that he gonna be there for them moving forward. I liked that moment that they shared or whatever. Look like Haley gonna put her plan in motion on next week's episode and flirt with Tomas or whatever. I said he gonna go. He gonna go. Hold on. But yeah, okay, what did y'all think of the episode? It started off with Bill and Danny. He was back in her face. They were just talking about everything that happened with Chelsea for the last... I said, is she okay? Well, she ain't okay because she's still struggling. I said, now, you just looking for an excuse now. I said, now you just looking for an excuse to be in her face. But yeah, they was just talking about that. Then they started, I think, at that point, was they talking about what she had going on with Andre? No, I think he showed up and he was telling him how he was in his seat and stuff. So they started going back and forth or whatever. He was like, Nicole started to tell me, what's going on or whatever, and he felt some type of way. I said, not you mad, Bill. I said, not you mad, Bill. What else? Let's see. Naomi wanted Chelsea help sorting through her closet. She was just trying to, take her mind off everything. Tomas still wants to blow Cat mind and find a way to please her or whatever. Samantha ended up bringing the boys to Chelsea and Cat Place. Ashley said if it wasn't for their misunderstanding in regards to Andre, they'd be a couple right now. And Derek heard it. And he's still over here pretending. I think he was about to tell her that he's starting to have a feeling in his leg, but she interrupted him. But yeah, what else? Let me see. Yeah, Derek overheard their whole conversation. Bill and Danny back touching again. Andre and Ashley still lying to themselves about having closure and all this other stuff and moving on and everything. And I said, y'all, more people gonna get hurt. That's all it boils down to. Because they both know they want each other. Just like Danny knows she not over Bill. And Bill's starting to realize he not over Danny. Eva said that she's sorry about the drama Leslie has caused, but I don't think it was sincere. That's completely different from the whole situation we just seen with you telling your mom you got her back and stuff. I was like, I don't think she was sincere. I might be wrong, but yeah, I don't think she was sincere this time. Now, all the other times, I feel like she was sincere. This time, I don't think so. I don't know. But yeah, what else? Kat was telling her how, she was being Kat. Same old Kat. She don't want to hear it. She ain't trying to hear none of that. You don't sit up here and interfere with her family. She ain't trying to hear none of that. Tomas started sticking up for Eva. I said, I don't think you're supposed to do that. I said, now, I understand. I said, what they said, defend your partner in public, but in private, tell them about themselves. He did not. He did not. He was sticking up for Eva and everything. Kat felt some type of way. Told him to take his pity for her and shove it or whatever. But she came back. I said, oh, Kat. I be expecting her to walk away from him, be the one to walk away. Because he obviously playing both of them. He obviously want both of them. Or whatever he up to. So I be expecting her to end things, but she ain't ended things yet. That's why I think she's trying to stick it to Eva over here. Hold on. But what else? Let me see. I already said Tomas still was sticking up for Eva. Danny thinks that Bill avoiding going home. She revealed that she overheard their conversation about him telling her basically it didn't concern her and stuff, and she felt like he was excluding her. And she was recommending, jewelry and flowers and all this other stuff. Let's see what else happened. That's when Andre popped up and he was like, I think you in my seat. So that's when he was trying to say that they weren't finished and stuff, and they started doing a little back and forth or whatever, but he eventually left. Derek don't want a world without Ashley. That's what he said after he overheard the whole conversation. And I was like, I understand, but at the same time, it's like, Derek, please. That's Derek, please. You should have been walked away. She don't sit up here and got down on one knee and propose. What the world going on? But yeah, what else? Chelsea wanted Naomi to represent Allison to throw the case. She was like, she couldn't do that, and no judge would allow that. Kat told Tomas to take his pity for Eva and choke on it. Ashley tells Jan that she come alive with Andre, so she was just doing the same thing, confiding in her mama about both of her men or whatever. And that's when Jan started to say it in a way that she should be with Derek. She didn't directly say it, but she basically did. And Ashley took her advice. And I was like, she got a point, but at the same time, this is only something that Ashley could come to the conclusion about. This is only something she should, because then she going to sit up here and marry the man. Then she going to realize, I don't want him no more. I want Andre. Then they going to sneak around, have a whole little affair or whatever, and then I didn't know that this was going to happen. I didn't know or whatever. All this sneaking around they be doing, then they be like, I didn't know this was going to happen. Hey, how you doing today? Y'all know if y'all watch any soap opera or any show, really, they be like, I didn't know that this was going to happen. They've been sneaking around the whole doggone time. But yeah, what else? Let me see. Let's see where we stopped at. Andre thinks that he got closer with Ashley because Danny was asked. And anytime she asked him about Ashley, he don't want to tell her. Kat called Samantha with a boy or whatever, and then he ended up leaving. She wanted Kat to keep it a secret. She said she wasn't going to say nothing. She wanted her to tell her parents. So after she left, she done brought the boy back in. Somebody said, where were we? I was like, girl, you going to get busted. You going to get caught slipping. But yeah, let's see. Bill ended up meeting up with Naomi and Chelsea, and he was just telling them how, he not going to miss any more time from them and stuff like that, so he going to be more involved. What else? I already said Samantha brought the boy back. Kat sees Eva and Tomas for the millionth time, and she left. Ashley said that everything always leads her back to Derek, so then he was like, you better not get down on one knee. He like, you better not get down on one knee. She don't get down on one knee. And then she asked him to marry her. I said, girl, get up. Get your tail up right now. Get your tail up right now. What you doing? But yeah, and the last thing, what's the last thing her proposing? What's the last thing? Danny and Andre, they kissing and stuff, about to sleep together. And that's it. That's all. On the preview for next week's episode, like I said, Ted was talking to Leslie. And then she was telling him, come here. And I was like, he better not. I said, he better not. Then they showed them in bed together. Now, she could just be fantasizing. I don't know. But they was in bed together, y'all. Nicole was talking. Was she talking to Anita or something? I don't know. What else did they show? I think Andre and Danny finna go to Vegas. I said, they better not get married. I said, they better not get married or nothing like that. But yeah, I don't know what else happened. Oh, Haley and Tomas. She flirting with Tomas and Bill Caesar or whatever. I said, we supposed to be on the little situation where she done faked her pregnancy and stuff, and he find out. They over here inviting a whole nother little situation going on. I said, they're all the way wrong. But I think that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest